People are continuously searching for a way to lose weight and keep it off. They try diets, exercise, therapy, hypnosis, even surgery. Some of these are temporary solutions, while others are pretty drastic. But the search for an answer on how to lose excess weight and how to keep it off continues, and still remains a mystery to most.
There's a certain segment of this 70% of the people that are obese or overweight. Dieting simply doesn't work. We all have lots of willpower. It's not about willpower, it's about willingness.
Obesity is a national epidemic. For many people, inactivity and unhealthy eating habits add a couple of pounds every year, until one day, people like Michelle find themselves overweight.
Well, my whole life I thought I was just a normal eater. I gained weight, at puberty and freshman 15 and every time I had a baby. Just one day it turned around and the diets that I used to use didn't work anymore.
Researchers are learning that certain food substances, especially additives in our foods, are addictive. Experts at a food and addiction conference at the Yale University Center for Food Policy and Obesity reported that the use and withdrawal patterns of sugar are remarkably similar to drugs we commonly think of as addictive. Food addicts like Rick and Carrie can relate.
I was trying to deal with food and with diet and with exercise, and I was failing at all of those. My weight continued to go up, and I would start out the day good, maybe for the first 4 hours, and then I'd start to become fatigued, and I'd start turning to all my trigger foods. I'd turn to candy, I'd turn to potato chips, I'd turn to, fast foods, and they would make me feel good for a little bit, and then I'd need to resupply myself.
Well, my life as a food addict was kind of a roller coaster ride up and down the scale. As quickly as I could lose the 50 pounds in 3 months, I could gain it all back. As soon as I put sugar into my body, it was like heroin to the drug addict. It would just hit my veins, and I could no longer control the crazy obsession in my mind with food all day long.
I was fat, I would look in the mirror and say, I hate you. Why can't you just eat like a normal person? And I didn't know the answer to that till I found out that food was an addiction.
With understanding comes healing. After years of struggling with compulsive overeating, a first-of-its-kind program, COR Retreats, is helping people lose the guilt and find a solution to their obsession with food and the despair that it causes in their lives. The tools of a 12-step recovery program based on the principle that compulsive overeating is not only a physical illness, but an emotional and spiritual condition, is bringing them to a place of personal victory.
When somebody told me what they did, I saw them and I got hope. I saw their pictures before. They were very heavy. They showed me these jeans that were huge. And now I'm looking at them and they're really small, and I say, what did you do? And they actually took me by the hand and took me through the process. And I did what they did, and then I got what they got. And today, I don't even want to have chocolate. I don't want to have ice cream. The Christmas cookies don't call to me. The problem's been lifted. The desire to eat like that is gone. I'm totally free.
COR is the Latin word for heart or soul. Healing your spirit, your heart and soul, is at the center of the COR program of recovery from food addiction. It is a 5-day residential retreat that teaches a way to live free from the obsession with food and the excess weight it causes. Michelle Goldberger has become an expert on food addiction. From her own painful experiences and through study and research, she now is the program director for the COR Retreats.
Normal eaters can stop at 2 or 3 cookies, a reasonable amount. But an addict, a food addict, is going to take 2 cookies, and then that's going to create a craving in their body that they cannot quench that craving. It doesn't stop until they run out of food or they pass out.
When I went to the program, it gave me an opportunity to have a length of time to be away from the food and to clear my mind a little bit and to take the fog out that I had and to reduce the fatigue that I was feeling and give me an opportunity to think clearly about the choices I wanted to make. And I was able to make those choices because of the program.
Well, I saw the advertisement for COR on a news channel one night, and I just felt that they were talking directly to me, and I finally felt like I had a possible answer to my problem with food. So I went to COR and just found that I could really have the recovery journey that I needed to my food addiction. I did have a disease, and that by abstaining from sugar and white flour and my trigger foods, that I could live a healthy life free of that obsession in my mind with food.
COR is the brainchild of Bert Nordstrand, a successful Wisconsin business person. He says everything that's important to him in his life today is directly related to a life-changing step he made 30 years ago.
Multiple addictions. I'd given up all of them. I was left with one, and that was food. And my life was closing in on me. I was living in boxes. I didn't want to have people see how I ate. And somewhere along the way, I heard about a treatment program. I ended up there, and one or two of the other people talked about food addiction.
In his award-winning autobiography, Living with the Enemy, Bert's message is one of hope and healing for anyone who has suffered from multiple addictions and is seeking a whole life recovery.
We teach them about how to live their life one day at a time without compulsively overeating. And that's the miracle. That's the miracle of COR, and it's changing lives, saving lives.
COR's success is getting noticed from the news media and the health community. That's also part of Nordstrand's vision.
We want to have COR Retreats be a platform to raise the awareness of food addiction in America.
Nordstrand's hope is that more people understand that the revolving door of weight loss programs won't work for food addicts. They have to learn how to manage the additives in the food that create unbearable cravings in some people and eventually leads to binge eating.
The guests come into COR and they're depressed and almost suicidal. And by the time they leave, they're transformed. There's a light in their eye that wasn't there. They have hope. Mostly what they get at COR is hope, because the volunteers come in and they tell their stories and they can see a transformation. And the guests start to think, if she can do it, maybe I can do it.
I think this program saved my life because I had medical issues that if I didn't lose the weight, if I didn't get on a healthier diet, I was not going to continue to live.
Wherever you are on your journey of understanding and solving your battle with food, it may be time to surrender and find serenity. A COR Retreat can help you on that path using the proven principles of a 12-step recovery program. To learn more about COR Retreat, visit cormn.org.